Hi, welcome to the holiday edition of Tabletop Discussion. I'm Sister Ruth. What we're going to talk about today is something that a lot of people have been feeling since, I would say, Thanksgiving started, and that's the holiday season. During the holiday season, a lot of us have feelings of loneliness. We may be dealing with grief due to the thought of the holidays being here and having certain loved ones not in our presence anymore. Can be a very depressing time of year. So we're going to talk about the different stages of grief, and then we're going to move on to what we can do throughout the holidays to help kind of lighten your feelings, so you don't get into that stage of situational depression that takes you through the holidays and the becoming new year. Because the new year is coming and there's a new year and a new you. But again, because it's the holidays, we do have these feelings of our loved ones that we've lost. It could have been years ago, it could have been last month, it could have been today that we have sisters and brothers out there who've lost someone dear in their life. I have been thinking about this topic for a while, and then actually it was validated when I went to church today, and the pastor was actually discussing grief and being lonely during the holidays and what type of emotions those bring up. So that was just validation that I knew I had picked the right topic for this holiday season. So let's begin with grief. We all experience grief in our own different way. There's no right way or wrong way to experience grief and the loss of a loved one. Now, we've all unfortunately have lost friends or family in our lives, and we've all had people in our lives that have told us, oh, you should move on, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. Your feelings are your feelings, okay? Especially when it comes to grief. And there's no judging in how people handle their grief. Okay, now yes, we can take a look at some of the behaviors that may accompany it if they turn it to inside and start using maladaptive behaviors that can cause them more grief in their life. But how we grieve is how we grieve. Okay, somebody may go through it by just remembering what that person did for them. Some people may hurt for years. It doesn't matter how long or which way you go through it. Now, there's 5 stages of grief, okay? We're looking at denial. We're looking at anger. We're looking at the bargaining stage. We're looking at the depression. And then we're looking at acceptance, okay? Now, those may be the 5 stages of grief, but as you guys have become to know me, I'm a realist. We can navigate through those stages off and on. It doesn't have to be, oh, first I'm in denial that I lost a loved one, then I'm angry about it, then I'm bargaining with whoever your higher power may be, I get depressed, and then maybe I accept it. We may go through those changes, those stages differently. You know, someone may jump right to bargaining, someone may jump straight to depression, someone may go through all 5 stages every year. When they think about the loss of a loved one. So there's no right or wrong way to how we deal with our grief, okay? Our feelings are our feelings. Our behaviors, yes, can be judged, but how we feel is how we feel. And during this holiday season, it's natural to think about the ones you have lost. Okay, there's not a holiday that goes by that I don't think about my dad, or I don't think about some uncles and aunts that I've lost. I come from a very large family, so I have experienced a lot of death in my life, and it doesn't get easier. You know, it's all about how you navigate through it. All right. Now again, you know, the holidays are here. Do I think about my dad? Yes. Do I think about my grandmothers? Yes. Do I think about what we would be doing if, you know, they were here? You know, that's how I deal with my grief. You know, I think about the ones that have taught me lessons. I think about the ones that have helped me along the way. Um, and we have our different rituals and how we handle that. Now, like for me and my family, we may go out to the gravesite, clean up, take some flowers, talk to them as if they're still here and have a conversation. We update them on what's going on in our lives. That's something that we do. Others may light a candle at church for them. Others may do something else in how they, you know, feel about their loved one and that memory of them, and making sure that they keep that love alive in their heart, because they're going to always be with us, okay, in here. They will always be here in our heart and in our thoughts. But around this time of year, sometimes some people do get depressed, and it's easy to stay in the house and seclude yourself from others, and all of us need a day that we don't want anyone around, and we just want to go through what we're going through. But when that becomes your norm, that's not healthy, because those behaviors aren't healthy. So during this holiday season, I suggest that whatever city you live in, Google and find out different holiday activities, free holiday activities that may be going on in your town. Get out and do something. Call those friends that you usually talk to, and go out with them and do something special with them. Just to get out of the house. Go to that party that someone invited you to that you usually say no to. Go to church. A lot of different churches are having a lot of different activities going on, irregardless of what faith or denomination you belong to. Each religious sector is doing something to honor their faith. So if you're new in town and you don't have any relatives, find a place of worship to go to. Okay, so you're not alone. Go to the movies. Christmas is a great day to go to the movies. That used to be a tradition of ours with me and my kids. On Thanksgiving, we would go to the movies, and then on Christmas, we would go to the movies. We did something. It's okay to go to the movies alone. There's nothing wrong with that. You're doing something that makes you feel good. Pick a movie that, reminds you of the happy thoughts that you've had of your loved one that you may be missing right now. But find something to do, to help you move through those stages. Because during this time of year, most of the stages people get stuck at is the depression. Some people may get, stuck in the anger part, of just being mad. And usually it's because they have regrets with that loved one. So this is also the time of year too that, have that conversation with a long lost family member that you may have gotten into it with, for whatever reason. Life is short, and you don't want to have any familial regrets, because all that does is compound the grief that you may already be feeling. The holidays are supposed to be a happy time of year for whatever, again, a religious or religious or spiritual denomination that you belong to. It's supposed to be a time of love and family and friends. So, let's remember that, and remember what your loved ones would want you to be doing. They wouldn't want you shut up in the house by yourself. They would want you out living, and have that vigil for them if that's something that you need to do and want to do to honor them. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, there's no right or wrong when it comes to your grief and how you feel about your friends or your family that you've lost. It is difficult. And believe me, this is coming from someone, again, who's come from a large family and has had to deal with a lot of grief and death in my life. I know that my loved ones wouldn't want me doing that. And like I said, it's okay that if there's a day or so that you're just shut up in the house, you're in your PJs, you're drinking cocoa, you may be crawled up on the couch watching a movie, or whatever the case may be. You may be bawling and crying. That's okay. The point is not to get stuck in it. Okay, and that's easy to do this time of year. So reach out to your friends and your family that you know that have lost a loved one, especially around this time of year. It gets very difficult. Reach out to them, check on them, invite them over to dinner, invite them to the movies, do a drive-by to see what's going on. You know, we all can do something to help the next person, because I would want someone to do that for me. Now, you know that sometimes I don't like that, but it's always the thought that counts, and I know that there's someone out there that cares about me and what I'm going through. And as sisters, and what we try to do on tabletop discussion is always about helping that next person out. So if you know someone, friend, family, even a coworker that you know that had lost a loved one during this time of year, just reach out to them. You know, invite them to that party. Invite them to your place of worship. You know, there are a lot of things that we can do to help yourself and help the next person. And sometimes by helping the next person, you are helping yourself. You know, so I just want to say, this is Sister Ruth. I hope everyone has a happy holiday. Reach out, as I stated before, find something different to do. Don't stay stuck in those stages. It's okay to go through those stages, you know, and they go out of order, but don't stay stuck. That's the key. Do not stay stuck in the changes, okay? Because then it will start to affect your everyday life. And life is tough enough. And again, your loved one wouldn't want you to be doing that. They would want you to be living your life to the fullest. Okay? So again, this is Sister Ruth. Happy holidays. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You'll be seeing us again soon. And happy holidays.